Aloha, friends. Happy Moonday. Oh, just take a moment to recognize all of the time and effort and energy that you've put into getting here in this time and space. Spirit is just telling me that the next several days are going to feel very focused and aligned. They're going to feel action forward and driven. So if you've been putting anything off, if you feel like there are things that need to get done, the next several days are definitely the time to do it. It's a very masculine, grounded type energy that's coming in. So grounded energy can bring up emotions that are ready to be purged and let go of. So allow those to move through you. Really just surrender to whatever darkness is coming up. I don't feel like it's going to be a very low vibrational week or a lot of a lower density emotions are going to come up. However, I do feel like it is going to bring some things to the surface that are just ready to be let go of. So you may notice, like, you may end up crying for what you feel like is no reason, or something very, something happens and it doesn't feel like you should be crying as much as you are, or you shouldn't be, as angry as much as you are, or whatever it is. The emotions feel heightened because you're actually grounded and feeling into them. So just a reminder, a little service to self, have grace with yourself and the people around you that are moving through these energies through the next several days. It does, though, feel very aligned. It feels like things are ready to move forward. So again, if you have anything that has been kind of hanging out that you haven't been able to get to, if you've been procrastinating on anything, now is the time to take advantage of this grounded energy to create forward action and movement in that space. We have two different type energies that wanted to come through today. So this will be pile number 1, the purple card, and pile number 2, the green. So whenever you're ready, take a moment, tap in and see which one of those two aligns for you for the next several days. These readings are timeless, so whenever you come across them is when you are meant to receive the messages, whether it is when they are actually uploaded or not. It will have a message in there for you, and anything that's not for you, just lovingly leave it for whomever else in the collective that it may be for. I do individual readings that go much deeper into your personal energy and the things that you're working through in this time. If you're interested in that, check out my website at radiantlovevibrations.com. My husband and I are the co-owners of Radiant Love Vibrations, and you can check out my price list and things there, and then connect with me if you want to go further. But let's go ahead and get right into it. So those of you that chose the purple pile, we'll go ahead and start there, and the timestamp will be in the description for pile number 2. All right, aloha, and thank you to those of you that chose the first pile. And there's some words on these, and they wanted me to cover them up, so I just chose this little selenite crystal because the words are irrelevant, they're telling me. But just the energy that's coming through with this card, it is kind of a dive back into self and feeling through what it is that you're not facing, what it is that that might be like lurking in the shadows for you that you haven't quite come to terms with yet, or things that you think that you've processed through, and I know there are so many times on my journey where I felt like I had processed through and completed whatever it was for that part of my journey, and months later or even years later, it would pop up again and I would go deeper into that shadow. So that's the type of energy that's coming through with this card. And it really is just saying there's something that is, I don't want to say hiding, but like the energy is lurking, like it's there, it's ready to, whatever shadow part of self that this is for you, it's ready to be seen, it's ready to be transmuted, alchemized, it's ready for that vibration to shift for you. And in order to do that, you're going to need to face it and go into that depth. So I'm going to pull some Dreams of Gaia tarot and see what we're working through with this energy in the next several days. What is it from the shadow that's coming up for pile number 1 in the next several days? All right. Let's see. One more. They're telling. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so immediately I heard not trusting in self, not trusting in the divine, in what's coming through for you. That it's like there's this energy that you've been in that has kind of been cycling. And every time you go deep and you try to go within self to ask what it is, you get the same answer every single time. That hasn't shifted. It's like every time you go into it, your guides are saying, yes, this is it. Yes, this is it. Yes, this is it. And yet every time you come out of it, there's doubt. There's, well, is it really, or can I do this? Or what if it's all of this mind chatter that's going on that really gets you out of balance. And so what they're wanting you to do is come into unity with self and put some, like, basically come back into the energy of self-love. What do you do for self that makes you, that raises your vibration? And I don't mean specifically, like, there are things that are, I guess, like, collectively that people do to raise their vibrations or to numb out. And they're telling me there's something very specific for you that you do that really shifts your energy and brings clarity to your mind, because that's what's missing. Every time the doubt has crept in, it's because you're too much in your headspace. And it's, they're showing me, like, I'll show you this card, but they're showing me all of this energy around the head, and it's like you bury yourself in that space. It's you start to overthink, and then that overthinking creates more, and then you really are in this, like, actually, if you look at it in this upside down position, it looks like a bat hanging upside down. And when you think of someone hanging upside down, or if you've ever, laid your head upside down off of a chair, or, like, I remember, I don't know, like, the image I'm getting is, like, traveling in the car when we were young, and we would, like, put our heads down the side and, like, kick our feet up and all the things that you weren't supposed to do. But you feel that, like, rush of blood that comes to the head and all of this energy there. And they're telling me that it's just this rush of energy that you have of negative thoughts, of doubt, of not being good enough. They're telling me, like, there's this energy of you feeling like it can't possibly happen, or it's too good to be true, or you're not ready, or you're not good enough. That's the doubt that's creeping in. And so they want you to shift things around and come back into unity with self. And really, the energy of the next several days is going to feel very grounded. And so that grounded energy will help you feel like you've got, like, feel like you can actually move through this energy. You're not, like the image they're giving me is like you're not bouncing all over the place. You're actually just fully grounded in it. And there's some things they're telling me with self that may come up in the next several days that are coming up for you to process through. So it could be, typically it's like guilt or shame or grief, like things that you haven't let go of, that Spirit's asking you, like, this is the final cleanse. This is what needs to shift so that you can fully trust in the divine, so that you can fully trust in a power, in a higher power, in source or creator energy, in your highest self coming through. And so there's something specifically that they're asking. Okay, they're saying each of you will know what it is for you that brings clarity to your mind. The image they're giving for self is like, I used to be a big swimmer. I used to love swimming laps or just getting out and just swimming because it cleared my head. I didn't, when you're actually swimming, like full on swimming strokes, there's no time to do anything else but be with self in that moment and be with your breath and be in your body. And it's very grounding to get in that energy and just feel the flow of movement through you. And that's what they're asking for this in the next several days, that you get in that energy where you're grounded. The energy of the planetary energy, I guess, is the astrological energy, thank you, is going to make you feel very grounded. So move through it, breathe through it, feel into it. What is it that will bring that clarity to your mind so that you can full on let go of the doubt and the things that aren't in resonance for you. And then from there, you can trust again in a higher power and in the divinity of timing and things happening for us and not to us, and exactly as they're supposed to be. I'm going to pull just a couple more cards for you here. Okay. And got one more. Let's see. Okay. So it's the energy that you're coming out of is this energy of like desire and hyper focus. Really being so focused on like eyes on the prize is what I'm hearing. So that focused energy of like, I've got to have this. This is what I've been wanting. Maybe you've been manifesting something for a really long time and it just hasn't come to fruition. And so they're saying now it's time to pull back that energy of desire. Desire really isn't in the highest vibrational of all energies. It's really kind of on the lower end, and we don't typically want to strive to be in an energy of desire, because as long as we desire, we'll always want, like be craving or wanting something. And so they're saying like to shift out of that energy. That's why it came out in the reverse. Shift out of that energy and go into self. Like they're highlighting this dark space over here with the eye. It's again like going into that third eye, getting the connection with your highest self. And whatever that may be, it may be just getting out into nature or turning things off and being in complete silence. It may mean when your body needs rest that you're actually full on resting, closing your eyes, shutting everything off, tuning into your inner world. It's really this unity of going inward and connecting with and loving self. And then this energy of the fear that's coming up is because you can feel how abundant, how amazing everything is going to be once you've processed through this. So it's like, you know what's coming. You feel it. You're intuitive. It feels really good. And you're like, okay, I know it's coming. And yet you've been holding on to that energy of desire for so long that it's actually what's blocking it from coming. So letting go of that energy, getting out of your headspace, connecting with a higher power, and then really tuning into self. They have like, in this one, they're highlighting this soul star chakra above the head for me. So, and the third eye. So the connection between these two, really opening up through the crown, the soul star, the third eye, and connecting with those higher powers. And grounding, you know, when we ground, the deeper we ground, the higher we go. So this week, the next several days, while the energy is very grounded, very connected, not a lot of solar flares, I'm hearing just a balancing out. It's a great time for you to connect with those higher vibrations and to bring clarity to your mind so that you can let go of any desire and just allow things to happen exactly how they're supposed to happen. Understand that it's happening for you, not to you. Pull yourself out of any kind of victim mentality that's come through this cycle for you, and just be still. Be still, find silence, and feel into your inner wholeness and the connection that you have with creator energy, the connection that you have internally with your highest and best version of yourself. And from that space, when we meet again, you'll notice that things are starting to unfold and that flow of abundance is coming in. But you've got to allow yourself to get into this space of connecting with those higher vibrations. So to connect with those, you can listen to, there are plenty of tools on YouTube you can connect. I know there's probably some tools on like Spotify or some of the other platforms that people use. But check them out. You can listen, you know, or do like a guided meditation on opening up the crown or the solar star. You can listen to high vibrational frequencies that will open up. You can connect with nature, even if you can't get outside. Like the music that wanted to be in this video today is all nature vibes and really feeling like forest or jungle type energy, and getting into the silence of the mind. You've got to clear all this. You've got to clear the mind. You've got to clear the doubt so that you can move forward in unity and oneness with self. And that is what's going to bring the flow of abundance and the flow of all of this excess heightened energy that's just waiting to come in. All right, I hope you all have a wonderful next several days, and I'll look forward to connecting with you for the next Moonday. Take care. Alrighty, aloha to those of you who chose card number 2. And the energy that's coming through here with this card is really the energy of deep transformation. You know, the dragonflies are a whole nother level of transformation. And what they're telling me with this card is it's what's coming through in the next several days for you is letting go of the need to control, letting go of the need to have everything in order. I've said this, I know, in some of my readings before, but like not needing all of your ducks in a row, not needing everything to be so aligned and in order and balanced and perfect for you to move into this next evolutionary cycle. I feel like a lot of you have moved through this portal already, and yet there's still remnants that are holding on in this space, that are trying to kind of come through with this grounded energy that's coming in the next several days. So let's go a little deeper. I'm going to pull some cards from the Dreams of Gaia Tarot to see what else is coming up for this part of the collective in the next several days. What energies are they still trying to control and not fully let go of? Okay, bottom. Got it. Thank you. All right. What energies, Spirit, are coming through that this pile still has these remnants of, and you want this one as well. Okay. All right. Interesting. Do we want those in the reverse? Yes, they're saying we do. Okay. All right, so there's this energy of surrender, this looking to a higher power, feeling grounded and very, very connected. Like the energy of this pile, like it just shifted this entire room. Very heightened intuition, awareness. It feels like the crown chakra is just wide open and taking in all of this higher dimensional energy. It's very heart opening and empowered, and yet there's these pieces that are holding on, these remnants of your past, of not being in your power, of not speaking your truth, of not fully standing in your light. And they're saying that it's just this like last little remnants of fear, of being your authentic self, being exactly who you are and not caring what anyone has to say or think about it, and being able to just step fully into your power. So what's blocking you, or what's not, okay, thank you, Spirit, for redirecting me, not blocking, but what is coming up for you to work through in the next several days is this energy in the solar plexus of fully standing in your power and being who you are, no matter what anyone else thinks. And, you know, I know from my personal journey with this over the past year and really diving deeper than ever before, it was coming into a place of not judging self. And when I had the need, or I felt like I wanted to judge others, I would check myself and ask, like, okay, what is it that why am I judging it? What is, first of all, what is it that I'm judging? And then where is the mirror reflection for self? What is it in me that I'm seeing in them that's triggering me? And then I could go deeper into what that was. So they're bringing up a scenario that I had years ago where I was, surrounded by a pretty awesome group of people. And there was one person in particular who would always overtalk everyone else. Everyone got along great, but when it came to sharing or just talking and listening consciously, there was one person who would always butt in and talk over everybody, or would relate the message back to themselves, or would have to like get the last say no matter what the conversation was. And it really triggered me, and I had a hard time being around this person. And every time I went around them, it was like I enjoyed being around them. They were sweet, they were kind, and then this trigger would pop up. And it was every single time I would feel this same trigger of like, why can't I just speak? Or why can't someone just finish their sentence without them interrupting? And it just got to the point where I finally realized, okay, this is happening for a reason. What's the reason? And when I went into it, I was seeing the opposite of self. I was seeing that what this person did, they were outgoing and boisterous, and they had just this energy of always interjecting themselves into whatever was being done. And I was the exact opposite. I had the energy of being quiet and in the corner and keeping to myself and not really speaking unless I was spoken to, and even then not taking the initiative to make the conversation go any deeper, or not speaking up fully. And it was this blocked throat chakra that anytime I was around, not just this person, but it became other people too, because Spirit was trying to show me that it wasn't just this one person that I had an issue with. It was everyone who had an overactive throat chakra, and their overactive throat chakra was a mirror to my underactive throat chakra, and my not being able to speak up or to relate in the way that these people did. And so it was coming into this balance of being in my power and speaking my truth. And that's exactly what's coming up for this pile this week. Is you've got these last little remnants of not fully speaking up, not letting your voice be heard. So maybe there's something that you've been working on, that maybe you've been channeling, or you've been creating something and you haven't shared it with anyone yet. You've really just been keeping it to self. And Spirit is like, no, get out there, share it. Like, this is your joy, this is your passion, this is your work, this is what you do, this is what you're supposed to be doing to, help with the ascension and the rise of humanity. And yet you're keeping it all bottled up for self. And so they're saying, no, it's time to put yourself out there. Trust that you are well protected. You have so many angels and guides around you, and that it doesn't matter if someone judges you, or it doesn't matter what someone thinks of you, because in your heart, you know self. You've gotten to this space of self-love where you know who you are. You are well aware of what you bring to the table, of what you show up as. You're aware of your flaws or the things that you're not so proud of. And because of that awareness, you're ready to step into that next level. But you've got to let go of this energy of not being able to fully be in your power and not being able to speak your truth because you're afraid of what people are going to say or think of you. I'm going to pull a couple last cards here just to see if there's anything else that will help with the work through for this pile. Okay, they told me to flip that, so I will flip that in just a moment. Let's see if I can get that. It fell pretty far. Okay, so what's going to help you get through this energy? Water energy is very cleansing for you. So if you feel like you're starting to put yourself out there and there's some fear, take yourself, like, they're really showing me you going into like this quantum cave that's just filled with water. and like maybe waterfalls, or like you hear the trickling water in the background, and it's just this cleansing space where you feel like you can be yourself and not be afraid. Almost like I was working with a client recently, and we were talking about having a public image privately. So being able to create something where maybe you're not ready to share, your creations or your downloads or whatever it is that you've been working on with the people around you. Maybe you still have these remnants, right, of fear of what your family is going to think of you, or what your friends are going to think of you. And perhaps starting a space where you can be yourself anonymously and see what that does for people, and how it helps, what you're doing for the collective, and getting energy back from that will help you step into your power. So we talked, with this client, I talked about how a lot of authors will write under aliases. And that alias is like a way for them to be in public privately, and to not have to put their full-on image out there just yet. So perhaps it's something like that you create something, or find a safe space where you can be in this energy of sharing who you are, and not having to do it, not going full on with the people around you just yet. Perhaps the remnants that are hanging around is the fear that's hanging around, is not allowing you to fully open up to that. And I know how hard it can be to put yourself out there. So finding even like new community, new places to go, maybe looking up, like getting on a meetup app and seeing, what events are going on that are free around you, or what events can you, maybe not free, maybe you're going to pay for them, but whatever events you can go to and actually meet new community, people who have no idea who you are, they don't know what you're about, and you can be whatever you want to be. You don't have to put on a mask. You don't have to be something that other people expect of you, because these new people have no expectation of you. So I know that kind of like took a twist from the cave of waters that it was in, but it's really the energy they're telling me is that it's like jumping into a new pool, and like letting whatever ripples come from that. But they want me to make it they want me to make it known that you are creating that. So if you're not ready to fully be your authentic self with the people around you, the people that are closest to you, and I feel like it's almost there. I feel like it's not like something that you're really truly hiding. It's like people know who you are, and maybe they know how brilliant you are, and they've seen your creations, and you're just not ready to go to the next level of like my friend's friends or my family's friends or whatever that may be. And so take comfort in like working with strangers and meeting new people, and creating whatever image you want with those people to help get you into that space of fully stepping into your power, and not having to put on a mask or bite your tongue, so to speak. And then knowing that what you're creating in this, they're showing me just this really balanced energy with this card. What you're creating in your heart is aligned with your highest self, and allowing whatever thoughts that come through that are not in alignment with that to just really kind of be washed away with those waters, with that water energy. They're really bringing up water. That's a very Water is going to be very potent for you in moving through this energy and stepping into your authentic self. So if you're a swimmer, maybe you like to just take baths or like just submerge yourself in the water, listening to, water or like underwater sounds are going to be really good for you to help move through this. And it is, again, like I said, in the next several days, it's a very grounded energy. Your third eye and your crown are wide open. And so now it's just taking the effort to be action forward and put yourself out there, whatever that means. And like I said, it might mean like introducing yourself publicly, privately first, and then opening that up and expanding it. And then it may be just taking, for some of you, they're telling me it is just taking that leap, letting go, trying something new, putting yourself out there and letting it be what it is, not having any expectations of it has to be this or it has to be that, or I need this kind of feedback from it. Just being what it is and allowing it to flow the way that it needs to. Alrighty, well, that is all the energy for the next several days. Have an awesome shift through this. I see you really getting to that point where you're able to step into your authenticity. So I wish you lots of love and wellness in that, and hopefully we'll see you next time. Take care. Adios.